There is a chance that I might be picking this one up.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Hi guys, Geezer64 here, and today we're talking physical media, more particularly the physical media releases for the month of July in the year 2023. And I've done a lot of these videos in the past over the last couple of years. This is the second video I've done this year, and you know, I had a good reaction to last month's video, trying to bring it back. So as long as the reaction for this video is as good as the last one, I will continue doing these physical media monthly releases. And for those new here, the way I do this, I just basically pick out some of the stuff that I'm interested in, some things I think you guys might be interested. I certainly don't cover every single thing releasing in the entire month, because this video would be an hour long if that was the case. So with all that said, let's go ahead and jump into the video. First up is Sisu, which I'm actually interested in checking this movie out. It's about an hour and a half, so we're back to normal length for movies. No more of these 2.5 hour, 3 hour movies all the time. So that's obviously a good point in its favor. And it got a lot of pretty good reviews. It's an over-the-top kind of gory style movie, but it looks like it could be something that is pretty good. Now, this is a Lionsgate release, and every month pretty much for quite some time now, they've had Lionsgate releases of movies on Steelbook. And there is no old school Lionsgate movie getting a Steelbook release this month because Sisu's coming out. At least that's what my only reasoning for it is, because they've been pretty consistent with putting out a movie every month. So with Sisu coming out, here is the Steelbook. So this doubles as the new release for Sisu, and as well as the Lionsgate Steelbook release for the month as well. Again, don't know if the movie's any good because I haven't seen it, but it looks pretty good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this one out. Next up is Scream 6, when this is the 4K option. Here, now I actually did see Scream 6. It was released on Paramount Plus like over a month ago. This is one of those movies that came to streaming before physical media. I know it's not a shocker anymore, but I actually have done a video on Scream before. I like the Scream movies. I think that they're pretty good. I liked Scream 5 as well. Scream 6, I think, is definitely one of the weaker ones. I had a lot of problems with it, to be honest. Is it a terrible movie? No. It's a bottom tier Scream movie, in my opinion. Is it worth a watch? Sure, probably once. I don't know if this is something I'm going to go back and visit anytime soon. At least that was my opinion of the movie. But again, comment and let me know if you guys liked Scream 6. I can't really tell you the problems I had with it without getting into spoilers, which I'm not going to do. So this is the regular 4K. It's also getting a Steelbook release as well. The Steelbook looks, you know, it's kind of basic, but I don't know. I think it looks fine. I think it looks fine. Next up is a movie called Beau is Afraid, and this is an A24 film starring Joaquin Phoenix. I watched a trailer for this. I've seen some reviews for this. Not my type of movie at all. If those unfamiliar with A24, it's basically a production house, and they've done a lot of interesting movies. I appreciate what they do, but for me, it's more misses than hits. But then again, like I said, I like the fact that they make some very strange movies and get some movies out there that are definitely not mainstream. To me, my favorite A24 film is definitely Ex Machina. A lot of people don't realize it is an A24 film, but it was, and this is definitely one I would recommend. As far as Beau's Afraid, based on the reviews, I just don't think it's something that's up my alley, but I don't know. I don't know of anybody who's seen this and liked it. Let's just put it that way. Next up is the next release in the DC animated movie listing, which is Justice League Warworld, and this is the 4K box. I believe the Blu-ray has the same cover as well. And I collect a lot of DC Universe movies, animated movies back there. I don't own every single one. I probably own about 80-ish, 85% of them. This does take place in the Superman Man of Tomorrow universe continuity, so I think it's got the same kind of animation style as this movie, the Justice Society World War II movie, and the new Supergirl Legion of Superheroes movie. So same kind of continuity as those movies, same style of animation. This looks like it could be pretty good. Obviously, they're mixing in a little bit of some more Elseworld stuff, which usually makes for a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to checking this one out. Will this be one I pick up? I don't know if I'm interested enough to add it to the shelf just yet, but we'll have to wait and see. Next up is a movie called Paint with Owen Wilson. And when I first saw this, I thought it was just Owen Wilson playing Bob Ross, but that is actually not the case. Apparently he plays a Bob Ross style character, but he's not actually Bob Ross. Like, again, when I first saw this, I thought this was supposed to be like Owen Wilson as Bob Ross in a kind of comedic version of Bob Ross's story, I guess. That's kind of what I thought this might have been, kind of like what Daniel Radcliffe did with Weird Al movie, but no, this is something different, and a lot of mixed reactions on this one, mostly negative. Again, haven't seen it, but I'd be interested if anybody out there has. Let me know what you guys think about this movie. Next up is Resident Evil Death Island, and this is an animated movie. This is being put out by, I think, one of the Japanese companies. So, I mean, I watched a trailer for it. Definitely the English dub is interesting, but the animation looks kind of cool. If you're a Resident Evil fan, I actually did like the trailer. I thought it looked pretty interesting. Something that I'd be interested in checking out, especially since a lot of the more recent Resident Evil stuff has been pretty bad in my opinion, particularly the Netflix and the Netflix show that was put out, not good at all, but this movie looks like it might be all right. Next up is The Truman Show 4K. This is the 25th anniversary, and I actually really like Truman Show. It's one of my favorite Jim Carrey movies, definitely my top 5 Jim Carrey movies. I on the Blu-ray already. Definitely a really solid movie. Will I upgrade to 4K? I don't know. It's not the type of movie that I would normally upgrade to 4K. It's typically dramas and stuff. I don't really have the need. I don't feel the need to upgrade to 4K unless there's some kind of massive jump in the quality. I don't know if that's going to be the case here. Truman Show is a great movie. If you've never seen it, highly recommend it. There is a chance that I might be picking this one up.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Next up is Hugo, and this is the 4K along with the 3D Blu-ray and the Blu-ray. Now, I did a video about Avatar and talking about 3D on its comeback, or at least the fact that Avatar 2 got a Blu-ray 3D. I'd like to see a little bit, some more return of Blu-ray 3Ds. You know, they've been pretty much a dead format for a while, so it's nice that we're getting a 3D Blu-ray option with this Hugo 4K. This is a Martin Scorsese movie. I've never seen it. It's one of those I was interested in, but never got around to seeing it. I believe this is an Arrow release as well, and I think they're probably 35. It's probably $35 to $40 for this one. I didn't look it up beforehand. We'll go with 35. I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. I'll edit it in here if that's the case. Jaws 2 is coming to 4K, which I'm pretty excited about because I love the first Jaws on 4K. It's one of the best 4K transfers I've seen. I love Jaws. Jaws is such a great movie. I'm interested in checking this one out. And not only is it getting a 4K release, it's also getting a Steelbook release as well. Now, I went with the lenticular for the first Jaws 4K. I didn't go with the Steelbook. So I would have liked if Jaws 2 had a lenticular option. I don't see that as an option, but maybe I'm missing it. But if they did, that'd be the one I would go for, the lenticular, just to be consistent. But yeah, here's the Steelbook, and yeah, I mean, I can't wait to pick up Jaws 2, to be honest. This one's definitely one that I'm going to pick up. Next up is Swamp Thing. This is the 1982 movie. It is coming to 4K. Now, they're asking quite a bit. It's $35. It's a pretty hefty price. I really like the Swamp Thing movie, the original one. Solid. I remember watching it on TV when I was a kid, and I just thought it was fascinating and awesome. As a matter of fact, if you have not seen the Swamp Thing show that was put out a couple years back, it is also pretty good. Now, the ending kind of falls apart because I think it got canceled while they were still filming it, and I think like they rushed everything in the last few episodes. And Ninja Turtles is coming to 4K. And when I first saw this listed, I was like, yes, finally Ninja Turtles is coming to 4K. I thought, yes, this is a perfect movie. I'm definitely buying this on 4K. I would spend $35 for this one on 4K. Give me a Ninja Turtles Steelbook. And then I found out that it was the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movie, and it was pretty disappointing. It was pretty disappointing to find this out because I don't really care for the Bay movies. I have seen both of them. Are they terrible? Well, they're not good.
Not great, Bob.
I didn't like them, and they're definitely not anywhere near as good as the original movie at all. So I wish they would just give me that on 4K. I don't want the Michael Bay Turtles. I don't want those. I don't want it. And War of the Worlds, the 1953 version of War of the Worlds, is getting a 4K. This is the 70th anniversary for just $20. I think this is a really solid pickup. I like the art here. Yeah, this is probably one I'm going to pick up. I actually don't own the original War of the Worlds. I did see it several times when I was a kid, but I haven't seen it in over a decade. So yeah, I would like to actually go back and revisit this one. At $20, I think that's a pretty fair deal for sure. And World War Z is apparently coming to 4K for the first time. I didn't realize that it didn't have a 4K release initially. I didn't realize the movie was as old as it was, to be honest. Now, the 4K also has two cuts of the movie, which has the extended as well as the theatrical version. The extended's about 7 minutes longer. And the matter of fact, I just picked up the World War Z 3D option. I'm trying to build out some more of my 3D options here, going back and getting older Blu-ray 3Ds. And I picked this up for $2. So I don't think I'll be upgrading to the 4K on this one because I just don't think the movie's that good, but I couldn't pass up $2 for the Blu-ray 3D. Look forward to talking more about this one in a collection update. So I Married an Axe Murderer is coming to 4K. I believe this is the first time it's coming to 4K as well. It's an older movie, and I've never seen the actual movie, but I've seen the cover art for this a lot over the years. And am I the only one who thinks that Michael Myers' head looks like it's photoshopped on? Is it just me? Am I just strange? I mean, at least am I strange for thinking this anyway? I don't know. Comment and let me know if you think his head kind of looks photoshopped. Maybe I'm just strange. I have no idea. But moving on, let's talk about Upgrade. The 2018 movie is getting a 4K release. Again, another movie that did not get a 4K release as far as I can tell. So the first time it's coming to 4K. And I've never seen Upgrade. I've heard a lot of pretty good things about it. I do want to get around to checking this one out. If you've seen Upgrade and you think it's a recommend, comment and let me know. And then we got the Mission Impossible 4K Steelbooks. Now, I'm probably going to do a separate video on these just to get more in depth on my thoughts on this. But the first two, Mission Impossible 1 and Mission Impossible 2 Steelbooks came out last month. The rest of them are coming out this month. So you got 3, here's 3, here's 4, here's 5, and here's 6. And I really like the art on these. They're pretty pricey. I think they're asking for about $27, $28. Obviously, to build out the entire set, that's pretty expensive when you could buy the 4K set for like $50, $60 or something like that. And I already have the 4K set of all 6 of those movies anyway. So I don't know. I have mixed reactions on it. Again, maybe I'll talk about more of that in a separate video, but the Mission Impossible 4K Steelbooks are coming out. And then you got the Battlestar Galactica 1978 version, coming to 4K. This is the 45th anniversary, and that's $22. And the Steelbook, here's the Steelbook, is $28. I think it's cool that it's getting a Steelbook. I am a big fan, a huge fan of the reboot of Battlestar Galactica. Never really was a fan of the original Battlestar Galactica. I've seen a few episodes here or there. But yeah, huge fan of the reboot of Battlestar Galactica. I'd like to see that get a Steelbook release. Do a Steelbook release of the original premiere of Battlestar Galactica, the reboot. That would be cool. But I do think it's cool that this is getting put out there for people who do like the original Battlestar Galactica. There's a documentary called Chop and Steal, which is coming out, and I heard about this on the Film Threat YouTube channel. They actually interviewed the two guys responsible for this. I won't really get into the synopsis too much, but I would just recommend looking it up for yourself so you can get a little bit more information. I think this could be a pretty fun documentary, so I wanted to mention it here. And then we got Team America World Police, and this has both cuts of the movie, the original as well as the extended set, and they're asking $22 for it. A pretty famous comedy, lots of quotable lines from this one. Now, you can get the original movie right now on Blu-ray for $10, so the fact that they're releasing this is $22. It has 2 cuts of the movie. Maybe that's the reason it's more. As far as I can tell, the original Blu-ray that they're selling for $10 is not out of print, or maybe there was just so many of them that I don't know. But I figured I'd go ahead and mention this one is coming out. You also got a big movie for some people, which is Showgirls 4K. This is the Vinegar Syndrome release, and they're asking $45 for this. Not my type of movie. And at $45, I think that's a crazy price point personally. But yeah, it is from Vinegar Syndrome, which is one of the more premier labels. So, you know, it's not surprising they're asking that much for it. Moving on to some TV shows, we got The Last of Us Season 1, the 4K is coming out, which is they're asking $40 for, and then the Blu-ray at $35. So honestly, I have not seen the show. I do have HBO Max. I have that streaming service, and I did play the original game. I'm not interested in watching the show for the simple fact that I fell into the camp of really not liking Last of Us Part 2, the game. I didn't like the story direction there, and ultimately that's where this show is going to go. And when I know that's the direction the show's heading, it just made me not as interested in checking it out. I understand why some people like it. Some people checked it out. Definitely nothing against it. I'm not saying it's bad in any way. I'm just saying why I'm not interested in checking it out. But again, it's a pretty big show that a lot of people did like, and it is coming out to physical media. And Digimon Season 1 is coming out. Now, this has already been out. Like, I know that the complete season of Digimon was released in English, and you can actually get that right now for $60. But what this one is the Japanese language version, and it's $70. So I was kind of surprised when I saw this listed as a new release. I was like, what? Oh, this isn't new. This is old. And I was like, well, maybe the old one was out of print. No, it's because it's the Japanese language version. So you get the subtitle version of Digimon, which I've never seen personally. Will I be picking this one up? No, not really. I have talked about it in previous videos that I'm more of a Digimon fan than a Pokemon fan. I like Digimon far more than Pokemon whenever I was a kid. I like them both, but I definitely like Digimon a lot more than Pokemon.
What a troubled young man.
And the last thing I wanted to talk about today is Moonhaven, which is getting a season 1 Blu-ray release. I don't remember what streaming service this is on, but I did check out the first episode, which they had for free on YouTube. I don't know if it's still free on YouTube or not, but I watched the first episode and I was like, it seems somewhat interesting. Not interesting enough for me to get another streaming service, because screw that noise. I got plenty as it is. But it is sci-fi. It's up my alley. It's something I might check out. Again, it's cool that the physical media is being offered up there as an option. Anytime I see streaming exclusive shows getting actual physical media releases, I think it's a win, regardless of if I'm going to pick it up or I think the show's good or anything. I just think it's nice when physical media collectors get streaming exclusive show options, so that I will say. So those are the physical media releases for July. Just my picks, some things I thought you guys might be interested in. Again, if you like this video, definitely hit the like button. Let me know. As long as you guys are still interested and engaged with these videos, I will continue doing them. When you guys lose interest, then that's fine. It's a sign I should move on and do some other things. I got lots of other projects in the works, but we always talk about physical media here. So if you guys do like this video, please subscribe. And let me know what you guys are going to be picking up this month in July. In the year 2023, I'm gonna have to go and let you go because we got a thunderstorm rolling in, so I don't want my power to go out because I can't film without the lights. So thank you again to everybody who checked out this video. Thank you, subscribers. All of you are awesome, and if you like this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, or don't. I'm not a beggar. I'm Sisu 64, and I'll always tell you the truth.